Hello viewers, and welcome to this week's business segment with me, Amelia Martha Nakitimbo. Now, Africa is paying expensively to democratize. As states look to reap the benefits of democracy, such as stability, economic growth, and investment, better lives for their citizens, they are forking out millions of dollars to hold elections. Let's start with the most recent elections. In Zimbabwe, a 270 million election and a result the opposition has dismissed as fraudulent and illegitimate. 6 people were killed by the military as they protested a delay to announce election results in Harare. Now, after being handed a mandate of his own, President Emmerson Mnangagwa is eager to drive his agenda, salvage the economy, create jobs, attract investment, cut corruption, and make Zimbabwe's farms produce food again. But with an opposition which did fairly well in the polls, feeling their call for justice has been ignored, will Zimbabwe's election galvanize the nation's people and rescue it from ruin, or simply aggravate division? Now, here's an analysis by international relations professor Anthony van Nieuwkerk.
Emmerson Mnangagwa himself and the ruling party now understands that the country has no economy and needs the goodwill and support from neighbors and the international community to recover. If they roll out the soldiers throughout the country to suppress dissent, and if more people are killed, then this will spell no good news for this new incoming president. Because the real challenge, in my view, is not about the form of political representation, but the recovery of the economy of the country, because people don't have jobs, people are literally hungry, and there's literally no food for people on the table. That is the real challenge. And that can only be overcome, in my view, if the winner of the election and the closest loser of the election come together and make some kind of a coalition going forward.
Now, in Mali, an election that's supposed to complete the country's return to democracy has gone to a second round. Incumbent President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta took over a country recovering from an Islamist insurgency and political instability. During his reign, Mali has averaged 5% growth, better than many regional economies. President Keïta hopes to continue his economic policies if he wins a rerun at the end of August. Opposition leader Soumaïla Cissé has promised to fast-track poverty alleviation programs and crack down on corruption if elected. Poverty, unemployment, access to social services and security are major issues in Mali's election. The country is eager to develop its mining industry and vast infrastructure projects and is banking on the success of this election to be able to do so. Will democracy deliver economic benefits for Mali? Let me bring back to your attention the recommendations of economic and social research analyst Khalid Baba.
Certainly, there is a wealth that has been created, but this wealth is monopolized in the hands of a single minority, a middle political class that shares it. The second aspect is that when we see that we have a population with a poverty rate of almost 41%, almost half of Malians live below the poverty line. 5% economic growth cannot support it. Today, for the people to really confront this economic hardship, growth must reach at least 7%.
Now over to the Democratic Republic of Congo. $1.8 billion. This figure is partly why Africa's most mineral-rich country has delayed elections for 2 years. The government said it could not afford an election of that amount in November 2017, a reason it was postponed to December 2018. It's also worth remembering that incumbent President Joseph Kabila shunned international funding for the elections, though there are reports that the country is open to help with no strings attached. A large percentage of that $1.8 billion has gone into purchasing electronic voting machines and enrolling over 40 million voters, a decision the U.S. has called an enormous risk in the very crucial elections. Now, DRC can actually take an example from Kenya to guard against election violence and deaths if polls go through. Kenya, East Africa's largest economy, held a $500 million election, one of the most expensive in the world. On average, the Kenyan state spent $50 per voter. The government invested heavily in biometric voter registration, tamper-proof digital election technologies, and voter education. The country pulled all states to make the election a credible exercise, not just for the citizens, but also for the international community and, most importantly, for investors and tourists. Now today, the 8th of August 2018, is a significant day in the present struggle for democracy in the Democratic Republic of Congo. President Joseph Kabila ends speculation on his return to the ballot, and his decision will have a lot of impact on the run-up to the December elections. And that's it for today's business segment with me, Amelia Martha Nakitimbo. You can follow me on Twitter at Amelia Martha 1.